See this? This is my boomstick!
Hi everyone, Boomstick here from Renegade Racing. Today we're looking at the Corvette C7.R Grand Prix, and it is the qualification round 1, and I'll be doing a practice run to show you how to do all the conditions, and then I'll do my qualifier. So looking at the conditions, we have plenty on offer here. There'll be 10k credits for beating a race time 127 seconds, a Class D Plus red pack for beating a race time of 126 seconds, a Class D pack for doing 6 jumps, and another Class D pack for beating a race time of 125 seconds. And then we have the Grand Prix event packs, which is for beating 124. Now you will get possibly blueprints in those packs, so this is worth doing. Let's get stuck in. Now with the practice rounds, just be careful with these. Obviously you don't want to improve your time. Hopefully you did a pretty average run to get a decently easy qualifier. That way you'll have a chance of actually qualifying. Though some people like to go hard out from the start, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Anyway, let's go through the route. So it's tunnel jam, and we're going to drive this D-Class car much the same way as we normally would, with just a slight variation. So we're going to trigger imperfect off that little hump, do a 360 imperfect up here, holding drift on landing and building up into a shockwave. We want to bounce as high as we can to get all the way over that section, and then we'll pick up the near miss. We'll start drifting. We want to trigger a little bit over that little bit of dirt, and then just build up a shockwave, which we'll hold for this barrel roll. And then we're going to land down on the bottom here and pick up the near misses to build up a shockwave, and trigger as we go off that barrel roll, just holding onto the left there just to make sure that we do line it up correctly. And then open drift around this section with the tap 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 of the accelerator to build up our shockwave for that barrel roll, which will then hug the right side here and just trigger as we go over that little bit of concrete, and just burning out an imperfect. Drifting open here with feathering, and then building up a shockwave that will run all the way through to that last bottle, and then just use a bit of yellow at the end. 360 imperfect, picking that on up, drifting for a shockwave, holding it off, and then we're going to bounce and grind here, because as you can see I was doing quite a good time. I believe that tier 1 will probably be somewhere between 108 and 111, with tier 2 being 112 to about high 114s, and maybe 115, maybe low 115s. So keep that in mind when doing this, and yeah, just make sure you don't overdo it. Obviously I didn't get anything in the pack there. Anyway, that's how to do the practice conditions. But let's have a go at the qualifier. Now, this is not like the Try on Nemesis. You will only have 3 attempts, so just make sure you've done lots of practice before you go into it, and we'll have a crack now. I'm just going to have a look at the pod that I'm in. There's been quite a few people now taking a few runs there, so 117 being the top time. That should be reasonably easy to beat, but I don't want to overdo it either. I'm going to not go too aggressive. I will wait until I'm qualified before working on my practice time to get it where I want it to be, so I can do that in practice and quit the race if I'm going too fast, or quit the race if I'm going too slow. There is only 15 minutes to wait on refueling this car, so plenty of opportunities to practice. Anyway, here we go. Let's see how I do. Now the pressure's always on in these qualifiers. Try and relax if you can, and that might help. I do recommend going hell for leather on the first attempt, with a ghost that will be behind you. So 360 imperfect there, holding down drift. Now I'm going to see if I can do a barrel roll here off this one, just to get that longer time in the air and also build up a bit more nitro. So yeah, that worked. And I'm going to, we'll see, I might trigger this a little bit late so that we make sure we get that shockwave through there. Now I'm a little bit wide here, so I'm a bit worried that I might not line this up. And as you can see there, just a bit short. I probably triggered it a little bit too early and didn't have enough speed when I was hitting it. So just be aware of that. But there's plenty of fat in this race. Obviously I only have to do a 117, and I'm finding it quite easy to get up in the low 112s. So a bit of a slow roll there. That's okay. We're still on track. It goes well behind me at this point. So I'll just do the same trick here. And we're doing 360. Obviously I'm a bit behind schedule compared to my practice round, so I'm just going to drift all the way through and just get across the line. So around the 117 mark, that should put me, I don't know, maybe third or second. Okay, well, second's okay for now. I've got 2 more runs. Obviously that wasn't a perfect run. Please don't take this as a way to get into tier 1. If you're looking for that, you might want to check out some other creators if you're really pushing and want to get into tier 1. Yep, that's going to be enough, I think. I'll check it out later. There's only about 3 hours left, and we'll see how the rest of the pod goes, whether they do retries and that. I always like to keep a couple in the bank just in case people try to snipe at the end. Anyway, hopefully that's going to help you all. Good luck with the Grand Prix. Hopefully you qualify, but don't worry, there is one more qualifier for this race, the Grand Prix, if you miss out on the first qualifier, but you really want to try hard in that, otherwise you'll be paying tokens to enter. Good luck everyone, bye for now.